Hello, my name's Hugh Morgan. I'm a retired GP and GP Training Programme Director. I also work now voluntarily with a Christian charity called Prime, Partnerships in International Medical Education, that supports medical education in developing countries. Recently, I've offered to work with Welsh NHS, an organisation called Health for Health Professionals in Wales, offering listening, debriefing, counselling to doctors, nurses and others on the front line of the COVID-19 epidemic. So those who just need somebody to debrief with and talk to following some of the traumatic experiences they'll be having at work. And that's being processed at the moment, so I appreciate prayer that that'll go ahead and I'll be able to do that. And we have a daughter, Lydia, who's a speech and language therapist in a hospital in Bristol. Good to pray for her too. She's on the front line with COVID patients. Thanks very much.
I work for the local health board and my role focuses on NHS Volunteers. NHS Volunteers make a huge difference in reducing loneliness and increasing stimulation for patients. As some of you will already know, my favourite volunteers are the therapy dogs, who never fail to transform the atmosphere on a ward. This is my own therapy dog, Bonnie. All NHS staff have been directly affected by the current crisis in one way or another, and a number from our team have been transferred to other areas. The rest of us are very busy recruiting temporary COVID-19 volunteers who are involved in a variety of ways, including telephone befriending, transporting items and end-of-life support.
Hi, I'm Ian Morris, and Debs and I moved to Abergavenny in January this year. We very much enjoyed becoming part of the community and of Abergavenny Baptist Church. I am the Deputy Director of Planning at Aneurin Bevan University Health Board and have been in this role for nearly 7 years. I myself had surgery at the beginning of March, and in the 3 weeks I was away from work recovering, the world changed completely. My role is now completely different. I do the modelling for how we in Gwent respond to COVID, how many infections there will be, and how we plan and respond, how many beds, of what type, when and where. And our focus at the moment is just as much on non-COVID services as it is on COVID, now that the peak of infections has thankfully passed. I've been greatly comforted by the way that the public has responded to the lockdown and everything that has entailed. We have greatly enjoyed the Thursday evening clap for carers. Even though we cannot be physically together, our regular Sunday worship has been a great comfort. We are very appreciative of the prayers being offered on our behalf, as we all try to come to terms with the events at this extraordinary time.
So hi, my name is Mike Pinn. I am a husband and a father of 3, and I work for the NHS at Neville Hall Hospital as a lung specialist. At the moment, my main role is leading a respiratory team, and we work on a ward where we look after some of the sickest patients with coronavirus who need support with their breathing. I have to say, generally I've been blown away by the amount of support and care I've received from the community and also from colleagues at work. It's been a challenging time, and I guess the biggest challenge for us is how this virus isolates our patients. So obviously they don't have any visitors, they spend large amounts of time on their own inside rooms, and for us to go in and see them, we have to put on a lot of gear, and I've sent Mike a picture of the gear we wear so you can sort of see what we have to put on, and so we can't just go in and speak to them whenever we want to. And you'll see that gear really acts as a barrier, and patients can't see our face, they can only see our eyes. And when you're having some quite difficult conversations, you can feel that you can't communicate the care and the compassion that you want to. And I'd extend that to when we're talking to relatives as well. I certainly had to have some really difficult conversations with relatives over the last few weeks, and I've had to give them some awful news down the phone, and again you feel quite inadequate trying to communicate the care and the empathy that you have for their situation down a phone line. So I think for me that's the biggest challenge with all of this. Anyway, thank you for your thoughts, and take care and stay safe. Bye.
Hello, I'm Jodi James and I'm Corporate Programmes Manager with the South Western Ambulance Service NHS Foundation Trust. I'm a member of our senior leadership team where I'm responsible for our service change, transformation and strategy functions, together with our fleet, our make ready who clean vehicles, our medical device technicians who maintain and service all our clinical equipment, and our estates team who look after our stations and our 999 control room buildings. Some of our major challenges at the moment are around physically moving large quantities of personal protective equipment, supplies and consumables across the southwest, as we're using much more of some of those products than we would normally. We're also engaged in major programmes at work to ensure that we can encourage and manage social distancing in the workplace, which is really important as we do what we can to keep our people safe and well at work.
So I'm Pete, so I work for the ambulance service here in Wales, and I'm part of the team that leads the 999 and 111 and NHS Direct control teams for the ambulance service across nine sites here in Wales. As you'd expect, the teams have been hugely busy answering calls from both the worried well and patients who really are suffering with the effects of the coronavirus. At the same time, they're having to work hard to support the operational staff as they deliver patient-facing services and go and respond to these patients across Wales with the extra complexity that the PPE brings them.
If you'd like to think about praying for us at this time, I'd ask for the following. We would like to think about you praying for strength, for wisdom as we make decisions as senior leaders, for personal resilience. That means we can provide support to our people and our teams as they work so hard every day to provide the health and care to support the people of Wales and the South West. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mary Cavell. I work at the Royal Gwent Emergency Department as an advanced nurse practitioner. I see, treat, diagnose, discharge and admit patients, both adult and children. My department has gone through a massive change since COVID-19 in both layout and the types of patients that we see. At the moment, we're coping well with what comes through the door. However, we really do struggle with communication with the speciality teams and with the changes in pathways. Working in PPE is exhausting, both mentally and physically, for the whole team. My department has had quite a few staff having COVID-19, and I just really want prayer that everyone recovers well from that, and that the number of cases continue to fall. Thank you for all your prayers and your support during this time.
A gastroenterologist and general physician at Prince Charles Hospital. Currently my 3 colleagues and I are splitting our time between the care of our usual ward, caring for half of a ward of confirmed COVID cases, as well as trying to maintain an emergency endoscopy service and some time spent at the front door of the hospital as well. As well as the care of COVID patients, which isn't too bad at the moment. We have enough beds, we have enough staff. What we're really having problems with is getting patients, particularly those patients with suspected cancer, in for their tests and investigations. If we as a church could pray for a speedy resolution of the crisis so that we can look after this second group of COVID victims, for patients who are having their urgent tests delayed, if we can pray that the crisis is resolved enough soon that we can get these patients in for the tests they desperately need, so that we can get on and work out what care and attention and treatment they need, we can have the very best possible outcomes for them. These patients are having a very anxious time, and if we could pray for ease and comfort for them and their families, that would be very much appreciated.